Apple's plans to move production outside of China have sent shockwaves through the tech industry, with many concerned about what this could mean for one of the largest brands in the world. Following a long and repeated history of difficulties between Apple and its centers of production granted by Chinese manufacturing companies, Apple's decision has implications for those within their own organization and throughout the economy at large. With tensions running high as workers prepare to face this impending shift, it is unclear just how much will change due to Apple's latest move, and many are asking, what does all this mean? Hello and welcome to Business Phil. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Now let's get this video started. US smartphone giant Apple Incorporated is speeding up plans to relocate some of its production lines from China to other Southeast Asian countries such as India and Vietnam. After corporations became aware of the risks of concentrating production in China, the move would constitute a fundamental change in the global supply chains. Analysts believe that China's zero-COVID policy, which has crippled portions of its supply chains, and the country's weakening economic environment will be the primary drivers of the move. India, the world's future powerhouse. Many corporations, including Apple, have been forced to safeguard against the possibility of disrupted supply chains as a result of China's anti-virus policies. Though China is scheduled to relax COVID restrictions, uncertainty remains because these multinationals have faced many abrupt changes in policy in China, which is one of the reasons for Apple's hasty movement of its manufacturing lines overseas. Many firms, including Apple, consider India as the world's next powerhouse, with labor and land costing 1/5 of what they are in China. This reflects an increasing trend in which many corporations, not just Apple, are concerned about the environment in China, and not simply because of COVID. When we consider intellectual property theft, cyber attacks on Chinese enterprises, and the onerous restrictions imposed by the Chinese government on data flows, there are a variety of reasons that are making China a much less appealing environment for manufacturers. So will Apple's move cause a chain reaction? More corporations may follow Apple's lead if it is successful in exporting products from India, where it produced a small fraction of iPhone 14s. The Wall Street Journal stated, citing sources, that Apple has ordered its suppliers to plan more aggressively for assembling its products elsewhere in Asia, especially India and Vietnam, in order to lessen reliance on China-based assemblers, led by Taiwan-headquartered Foxconn's Zhengzhou facility. According to a report, Apple is concerned about having so much business tied up in the facility, which created approximately 85% of the iPhone's Pro series, due to instability over antivirus measures and salary disputes among the plant's 300,000 workers. Apple's long-term ambition is for India to ship 40% to 45% of iPhones, up from a current single-digit percentage. Will Apple benefit from the transition? India does have some advantages, like it does produce a lot of engineers, but Apple as a company has to consider different things such as culture, expectations, legal practices, and so on. So they can't just pick something up from one country and drop it in a different country. They have to learn about the local situation, and the local governments must be involved. That could hurt. Who knows? Also, companies like Foxconn are good at managing production, but the way costs are set up in India will be different. So some of Apple's plans to diversify its supply chains may happen in China, where Foxconn is said to be planning to grow at its Taiyuan plant in the northern Shaanxi province. The biggest challenge is for India to be able to increase the number of suppliers it has for Apple at the best price. Not just low labor costs, but the whole system of making things is what drives down costs. So India will have to deal with a lot of problems. One is to build a local network of suppliers who can help with production and keep costs down. And then, on a bigger scale, making sure that India has a highly skilled, well-trained workforce and people who have experience building things like iPads and phones, which are very complex electronics. What effect will it have on China? The relocation process will last for a period and will not be implemented immediately. However, the move will hurt China's economic growth and unemployment rate. In the future, we believe China will still be an important production country for Apple and will find a better solution to this problem. As businesses continue to adjust to a rapidly shifting landscape, It is crucial they remain agile enough to pivot in response to new opportunities, something Apple seems prepared to do. We can only speculate about the possible consequences of Apple's move out of China. It remains to be seen what effects will come from this move, but with increased competition and lower access costs in many new regions, it is clear that we live in an ever-evolving business world, one where decisive action can make all the difference as companies strive for success. That was it for today's video. What are your thoughts on the video? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time. We'll see you later.